pulling out the big guns today.
Another video started in a parking garage in downtown Chicago, but John and I are not going after perch today in Navy Pier. No. We're going after a species fish that I've never targeted and I've never caught. You've only caught him a handful of times, correct?
I've probably caught like 20 in my entire life.
You know, when we were perch fishing, we'd heard, like, you called it chitter chatter. That was a great word because there's so many people on this pier. You just hear conversations. We're not eavesdropping. There's just so many people out there that you hear the chitter chatter, the pitter patter, and we heard...
The pitter patter is like a little mouse scurrying across the floor.
It rhymed. I thought it sounded cool. Didn't sound cool?
No.
No? Well, we're going to roll with it. A lot of people had been catching lake trout accidentally while they're perch fishing. We assume that these greasy lakers are coming in to eat the perch. Do we have a long enough net? Oh, wow. You're really going to have to stretch those arms if we get one.
I know, right? Okay. Hold on your ankles. Somebody will hold on to your ankles. I got it.
Now, if we hook one of these things, I'm making fun of the net. I'm not making fun of the net. I'm kind of worried about the net because it's an 8-foot drop from where we're standing to the water. So we might actually have to get held by the ankles to net this lake trout. But how we're going to target these guys, again, we don't really know what we're doing with lake trout. So we've got a wide arsenal. We have lipless crankbaits. I've got a blade bait tied on to start out with. What's on your spinning rod?
Just a little whatever. Just a little.
A little whatever.
A little jig and wrap.
A jig and wrap, and then for the grand finale, we got some spoons, and I have swim baits because, yeah. One of the main reasons John and I wanted to come back and target these lake trout, we're very content knowing we might very well not catch one. We have no idea how many are down there. We're not just going to fish Navy Pier. We might go to Montrose and stuff like that. But just the sheer amount of fish that are down there makes it such an incredible opportunity for us to film cool content for you guys. Like, we dropped my bummy camera down there that's films horrible quality, but the camera was even straight because of how many perch were running into the camera and all that. John bought a pretty nice aqua view that he has no idea how to use, but we're going to try to use it. So maybe his video will have a lot of cool underwater footage. I'm going to try my best to get some awesome underwater footage today. We'll see what happens because John and I don't know where this video is going, so we'll see where it takes us.
Neither do you guys.
No, nobody knows.
I keep burping up Whole Foods eggs right now. I don't know if that. Oh, the Whole Foods stuff never sits well with me. It's just.
Wow, we're at the very end. I like that. We can actually cast our swim baits here.
No one goes.
Well, it's probably because they don't need to walk far. There's so many down there. Just scoot in.
There's a lot of birds out here. There's a lot of birds out here.
They're divers. I wonder if they eat the perch.
No, they do, 100%. Do you not see them come up? Look out here. Look up. All the divers are not in here.
Yeah, all the birds are over here. Let's follow the birds.
These guys that were gobbling perch last time we were here, do you not see them?
Oh, he's got one in his mouth.
Yeah,
Look at that.
These are perchy. These are all divers.
Every single one of these, dude, all those birds have perch in their mouth.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Start here.
Yeah, I'm starting here.
All the birds.
Yeah, dude, right here.
Not a single
right here.
little bird.
Here's what I'm starting off with. The OG original silver buddy. If you guys watched the last video and saw how many perch are down there, leave a comment below right now on how many perch you think I'm gonna snag today. John, what do you think it is? A decent amount.
Yeah, it's so much nicer today.
Yeah, it's about 10 degrees warmer and 10 mile per hour less wind, so it is so much more pleasant to be out here right now. And the funny thing is John was way underdressed last time. This time he's got bibs. Yeah. You got gloves too, like way more layers. These things fight hard, right? Like they're gonna smack it. There will be no question.
Yeah, they fight hard. You see any videos?
No perch. John's got the underwater camera. He's combing the desert right now, and it is a desert. There's no perch in this spot. Maybe we're the dumb ones. Maybe this is why there's no one out here. The birds are just getting perched though, so they're around. Maybe they're just not in this exact spot.
I think they're out.
It's just all sand down there, right?
Yeah. All sand back there too.
Hey John, do me a favor real quick.
What?
Take that net, extend it all the way, and see if you can reach. I'm really curious.
Yeah.
It might be able to. Oh, that's okay. I don't know why I was ripping on it. That's a great net option. No holding each other by the ankles today.
Negative.
I'm down to catch the new state record. The new state record smallmouth is out here. It's swimming out here somewhere. The state record's not that big. It's 6.5. to the bottom. I'd be lying if I said I didn't get a little bit excited. Oh, it's coming up. Ooh, no, I got it out. It lives to fight another day. I was pulling it up. I don't know what it could have been.
Body.
Don't even say that. I'll bet you if you scuba dive down here, of course it's illegal, but you could find so much cool stuff down there. Especially because the water's pretty clear. That's a bucket list thing of mine, even though it's totally illegal. I looked into scuba diving in the harbors of Chicago and stuff like that. Not allowed. I was pretty bummed about that when I was doing like underwater fishing over the summer. John just walked. How far did you walk? Like almost to the end?
It looks sick over there. Like there's a bunch of like stuff. There's a bunch of stuff in there.
Well, there's just stuff over there, but there's no perch.
No perch. No perch,
no lake trout on this entire end of the pier. So I think we were the dumb ones, and there's a reason why everyone's over there. It's because that's where the school of perch is. So we're gonna move over there and kind of take 5 minutes in every open hole and try to see if we can pick off some Lakers. To show you guys exactly what John's using, it's just an OctaView camera.
It's pretty janky, honestly. I would not recommend buying this. But it's the only thing that the industry has right now. So
how many are there?
Oh, I just hit one with the camera. Look at that.
There's all the perchies down there.
Well, they're definitely over here now.
So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take every little open pocket we can find, just fish it for 5-10 minutes. If there's no active Lakers, keep moving. That's our best guess at what to do anyway. So if you guys didn't see the last video, there is thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of perch.
I was thinking millions. That one
just
day we
that
put the
size.
camera down.
Yeah. A good 5 to 7 inch perch. You can't even see it in John's hand. It's so small.
It's so tiny. All bite, no brain.
Show me your big fish, John.
Look at this little guy. What do you think, Chris?
I don't know. The action today is not nearly as strong. When we were here 2 days ago, we could look down and everybody would be hooked up almost the whole time. And now fish catches are quite scarce. Like I'm just looking down.
They're really small.
Yeah, and they're much smaller, which the size might not be a bad thing for targeting lake trout trying to eat them, but there's a couple other harbors we feel like we might have a better shot at due to our years of experience.
Yeah. Got a lot of lake trout experience under my belt.
So John and I are about to abandon Navy Pier, but before we go, we saw someone with some Laker gear and a very long net. So we were gonna go pick his brain a little bit and see what he can tell us about lake trout fishing, because we know nothing. We do not know where to start, barely even what lures to throw. So whatever knowledge this guy is willing to give us, we are going to take. Hate to bother you, but we saw the big net. We're heading over to Montrose. We want to target some Lakers, but we have no idea what we're doing. I got a blade bait out.
Go to Montrose?
Is that not the place to go? We figured it was closest to the main lake.
Yeah, we figured there'd be a lot of Lakers there.
Here.
Really?
Here for Lakers?
DuSable, if you guys feel like walking.
Thank you, sir.
My name's Chris.
Yeah, Chris. John.
Chris as well.
Pleased to meet you. I'm down here with a couple other guys pretty much every weekend. So if you got any questions, feel free. If you find me online, look me up.
Thank you,
I'm always running here, and I'm always willing to, you know, if you're doing it right and you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, paying it forward.
We'll see if we can hone in on it. Thank you so much.
I hope you guys get into something.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good fishing. And then do the walk down.
We just got an A+, like 15-minute lesson from like a 40-year-old expert. That guy was so nice. That guy's the definition of dialed. Wow. Everyone here is so nice. I love fishing in downtown Chicago.
Dude. Very, very
it's such a
welcoming.
diverse fishery too. Can't really talk to a person more informed than that. He said that if we want Lakers to come to this part of the pier, just vertical jig these big pilings. So that's what we're doing right now. After this, we are probably going to move harbors, but this is definitely worth like a half hour of our efforts. First spot?
First spot, not so good. Second spot, hopefully better.
Gave the end of Navy Pier about 30 minutes, did not catch anything there thanks to the help of that super helpful angler out at the pier. He was also named Chris, mad props to him. We now just drove about 4 miles north. We are about to fish a different harbor. It's a much different situation. That one was just kind of like a pier that goes out into like a giant bay almost. This is a harbor with a very small inlet. He told us to focus in on the inlet and that there still be some king salmon around. There could be some steelies, lake trout, but there's fish right here. So hopefully we can tie into some. The big fish mission in downtown Chicago is not over yet. Well, this new harbor has kind of been a bust. I've broken off 2 lures already, and John has been messing around with his underwater camera everywhere, and he has not seen a single fish yet. Definitely not an ideal sign, and that's why that underwater camera is so effective when you're fishing areas with clear water. There's no guesswork. If they're there, you can see them. So, what do you want to do, pal? Omelets. Jon wants to take an omelet break. He's pretty hungry. That really doesn't sound like that terrible of an idea. Might take an omelet break and go out for an afternoon sesh, because this has been pretty defeating in the 3-4 hours we've been at it up in here. Jon's just quitting. He's sitting on the ladder. He just turned his GoPro off. He's ready. Are you ready to jump in? Well, in a little bit of a turn of events, I am home now. As you can tell, we unfortunately did not catch any lake trout on the day. That was a total failed mission. I just drove it took me 2 hours to drive 20 miles home from downtown Chicago on the Friday before Christmas weekend. I'm probably super dark here. Hold on, let me change the light. There's no light in front of the fish tank, and that's what I want to show you guys real quick. But before I go show you a very large update with the bluegill fish tank in Bear Gills, because Bear Gills is very hungry in there, if that foreshadows to anything of what I'm about to tell you guys. Not a ton of productive fishing action in today's videos. Jon and I caught a bunch of little perch that I don't even think I'm going to show them in the video, because it's not really all that exciting. The last video was filled with little perch too. I don't want every video to be me just slaying fish. I don't want to be one of those guys that only posts a video when he crushes a fish, because I like to keep my channel real. This is not like... My YouTube channel is not like a highlight reel of all my fishing trips. It's more my real life experiences through all the fishing trips that I do go on. Unless a trip is just super not interesting or goes horribly wrong, then I'm not going to post it. But I thought this was a very interesting trip, given that I haven't really chased lake trout before, and I definitely will do it again. Now with the fish tank, I need to show you guys this, because I had 2 bluegill in this tank. One Bear Gills, and he was like he's probably getting close to a 10-inch bluegill now. He's growing very fast. And he's growing very fast because he has a big appetite. I had another bluegill in there that was like probably a 2-inch long bluegill. He was a pretty tall fish. He had at least like an inch and a half of height on him. And we went to go feed the fish one day. And guess who's the only one in the tank now? Bear Gills, we are almost positive, has eaten that other bluegill. I've never heard of that before. I didn't know bluegill would eat other bluegill, but Bear Gills is a savage when it comes to food. As you can see, there's no way the bluegill would have jumped out at all. That filter is tiny. The bluegill would not have gotten sucked up. Here, let me change that light. There we go. The tiny bluegill's just gone. Bear Gills ate him. Didn't you? So Bear Gills is far more of a savage than we thought he was. He ate his friend in there, the tiny little bluegill we were calling Nemo. I mean, his mouth is tiny. I have no idea how he even got a bluegill in his mouth. There we go. He's gotten so big and so aggressive that we've gone to feeding him just whole big night crawls, like as large as we can find. And he gladly eats 2 to 3 every single day. Since I've been showing the muskie so much, I know a lot of you guys were looking for an update on him. That small bluegill thing, him being gone just happened in the last couple of days. So this was a very new development. I didn't want to make like a whole giant dramatic video about it, because obviously I have no proof that the bigger bluegill ate the smaller bluegill. It's just the smaller bluegill is gone, and I'm the only one that touches this tank. There wasn't like a huge bulge in the big bluegill's belly or anything like that. I mean, he's so fat and thick that I don't even think he would. Look at that mouth. I don't know how he got a bluegill in. The reason I bring this up is asking if any of you have had a similar situation in a tank where you've had a pretty big bluegill and then a small bluegill in a tank. Has the bigger one ever eaten the smaller one? Because I had never heard of this before. It's pretty crazy. So I hope each and every one of you enjoyed today's video. It was definitely a failed mission. It was a struggle on the lakeshore for me and Jon, but I thought it was pretty fun and entertaining. It's always a great time getting out and fishing with Jon. And to the lake trout that reside in Chicago, Jon and I are not done with you. We will be back.